Hello, my love, and welcome back to Telling It Like It Is. Today, we're going to talk about how do we allow our adult kids to come back to the house. It's going to be interesting because there are circumstances in life where you need the help of your parents as you grow older. They have to be extreme circumstances. This is according to me. This is how I view it. Like I said to you before, I'm not an expert about relationships or any type of psychological treatment or way to do things, but if I take it from my point of view, my own experience. If our extreme circumstances that a kid needs to come back to the house, that could be themselves, with their spouses, or even with their kids. I'm for that. But this is my take. If you're going to go back to school, if you want to stay for a house, if you have health issues, obviously, you always want to take care of your kids. But there's a thin line between helping adult kids and enabling them. This is how I feel about it. If you need my help as an adult, as a young adult, I want to say 25 plus, and this is not a generalization, just an example. And you have 3 jobs, and you're killing it, you're hustling it, and you come to me for help, and you say to me, you know, Ma, I need to move into your house because I want to buy a house. And I need to move back into your house because I want to further my education. I'm for that. For example, my daughter is a nurse. And if she wants to be a nurse practitioner, she wants to go back to school or become a physician assistant. First of all, school is expensive. Then, just living, life expenses. And she says, give me an opportunity to go back, and we'll say, let's set up a time frame. A year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm good on that. But don't think you're going to move back into the house and I'm going to be the same mom when you were in your teens. I cooked for you. I did the laundry. I picked up after you. There are going to be boundaries, rules, and regulation. Because now you're an adult. So we're going to set a time frame. We're going to set rules and regulation, boundaries. This is not a hotel. You're not coming and going as you please. Bringing all kinds of people into the room. That doesn't work for me. Somebody else may. So that's how I look at it. And I always believe that I'm going to be there for my kids even as they become adults. Another thing that I believe in is that when you come back to the house, for example, you come with your spouse. Ma, I want to move in because we want to buy a house. No problem. But now you're in my house and I see you on vacation, buying designer clothes. You're getting a new car. You're hanging out. I'm like, wait a minute. This wasn't the purpose. Are you saving your money? Let me see what you're doing. You don't have to give me a detail of your finances because I'm going to treat you as an adult. But I need to see that you're putting in the effort. Because if I don't check you on that, that's enabling you to change your lifestyle to now do this. That wasn't what we talked about. So that's one thing. Another aspect about this is if you move in with your spouse and your children, that can happen for all kinds of circumstances in life. But this time I said, okay, move in. Again, we're going to set up a time. And me as a grown adult, as your mother, I have to tell you, I have very old-fashioned ways to raise kids that I need to pair that with a modern approach because I'm old school. I don't believe in kids getting a trophy for participation. To me, it hinders in their ability to get better. I think in losing, it humbles the individual or the kid or the teenager, and it makes you want to try harder. So if you're in my house with your kids, I'm not going to go to the kids and be the disciplinary because these are not my kids. But I will still feel like I can't give you my 2 senses because of my own experience. And say to you, pull you on the side and say, listen, I see how you're telling the kid, no, he doesn't eat that. But how do you know? You don't give him the chance to even try. I believe parents should allow their kids to go through the experiences without trying to impose in them their own opinions or their own experiences. So I will say to my kids, if I have grandkids in my house, listen, I see how you're enabling this kid. You don't put any like any chores and they're getting everything they want. Don't give kids everything in a silver platter, because in the effort, in the sacrifice, you value the things that you have. For example, when I used to take my kids out to buy stuff and I was paying, they're just picking stuff and put it in the car. They didn't even look at the price. Now they go to the store with their own money. They checking, they want it on sale, they're looking for a coupon because it's their money. So I believe in helping kids. Adult kids are different. Life is very hard these days. It wasn't when I was in my 30s, even though I was struggling. But I understand living in LA or wherever they are, different places. New York City are expensive places to live, and they might need your help. But there's a very thin line of you enabling adult children or helping them, because it could be enabling. Another thing that I believe in when kids are a little older is like, if you keep giving them stuff and helping them out and always saving them for all kinds of trouble that they get in, that's not really contributing for them to become themselves. And I believe that when you have small kids, you have small problems. When you have big kids, there's big problems. And I also believe that even if you are a disciplinary and they be crying and they're not happy with you, they hating on you, I don't believe in kids talking back at me because I'm old fashioned. That doesn't happen to me. I wouldn't allow it. But if they're crying, let them cry. Because by them crying, they're listening to you. But when you start to cry as an adult, that means the problem is serious. So to me, let them cry all they want, as long as I'm the disciplinary, I'm the parent. It's beautiful to become a friend. But your role in here is to be their parents. And at some point, they will appreciate and be happy that they had a parent when they were growing up, and even as young adults. Another thing that I want to mention that is very common these days, because we have to admit, it is the reality. A lot of marriages end in divorce. I could say, I don't know, I've read statistics, don't take it from me, that more than 50% of the couples end up in divorce. It's a sad situation, but it's the reality. So talking about these kids coming back to the house, it could happen that I got divorced even before they left. But I redid my life. I found love again. And as you know from a prior episode, I remarried. So my partner right now is now the father of my kids. For example, my daughter comes back to the house because she wants to become a nurse practitioner. But now I have a partner. And she needs to understand and respect that I have that life. I'm still her mom, but I have that life. You need to respect the person, needs to respect the relationship, and not try to interfere with that or feel some type of way that I'm spending so much time with my partner that now she needs to kind of find out when I'm going to be available to be with her, because that should be respected. The same way, if she came with her husband, I'm not going to be knocking on the door, trying to interfere with her life. If people argue, get involved in that, that's your life. The same way you need to respect my life. And again, even moreover, if you bring your kids and your husband, like I said before, I'm going to be watching to see how you're doing, because it's a normal disposition. Like, how can you not look at your grandkids? What's happening with them? Are they going to school? How are you dealing with, how much you're allowing them to do? The phone situation, there may be teenagers or something like that. Like I said, I have an all approach to that, but I try to combine them with a moderate approach, because I'm going to see what you're doing with your kids, but that doesn't allow me to interfere with that. To respect my partner, that might not be your father or your mother, if it's the other way around. So I think that when you allow kids back into your house as adults, it could be a good thing for both, but it has to be thought out and make sure it keeps it in check, so that you don't cross the line of enabling them not to give all they got, not to try the hardest, not to try to get everything they want by themselves. A little help can go a long way, but it also can cripple young adults these days. And that's just how I feel about it. I would like to hear what you think about that. Or maybe you're going through it, or you know somebody that's going through it. I just want to know how people feel about bringing their kids back into the house. I'm curious. So my love, what I want you to take away from this episode is that I believe in helping our young adults. And it's okay to come back to the house. But if you do, there are going to be boundaries, there are going to be rules, and we're all going to respect each other. Because now there's a bunch of people living in the house with different upbringing, with different ways of looking at life and raising kids and dealing with each other as a couple, or simply, if it's just a one kid, how you want to live your life. As long as the rules and the regulations are followed, I'm all good in helping young adults. Listen to the podcast and subscribe. And let me know what you think. Your opinion is very valuable to me. And I want to do better every day. So please let me know what you think.